Hi guys, I just thought I'd show you something interesting. I've known of this for a while. It's been a year since the events of 2013, Pope Benedict XVI announcing the return of the Christ, Brian Leonard Golightly Marshall, the image of the Shroud of Turin. Now, as you know, the conversation in its entirety was uploaded at the Scribd site in April last year. I want to show you something very interesting and the tie to Francis here. This is the conversation that I was having throughout those weeks with Father Giuseppe Cervello, as you know, the right-hand man throughout our communications for Pope Benedict. He, on April the 3rd, was kidnapped. I wanted to show you the link. This is all of the communications from my side, March 23rd. Now, they have removed the other part of the conversation, which was the response from Pope Benedict. It's already up at the site. You can see what it was. But look at here, for example. This is after Benedict realized that he was now a prisoner of the Vatican, and they were working to get the video out that they did, Father Giuseppe and Benedict. Now, go away, this thing comes up all of the time. Now, just to give you an example, we've been sending out hundreds of emails with the Apostolic letter to notify them. However, we have not heard anything back. We are censored. Our IP address comes up as blacklisted. This is when I'm asking the Holy Father, do you have personal phone numbers with the commander of the Swiss Guard or anyone in a high position to come to your aid? Our YouTube and Facebook is hollow-netted, meaning that only a few can see what we do. That is the Jews doing behind the scene. Your own Facebook page should have had thousands of views, and yet only 40 plus. Now, the response here that you can see here, they added it on the letter, the Jews. That was the response from Benedict himself. But you can see that they've taken away the icon that was there that you will see on the at the Scribd site. They've done their best to remove the part of the conversation that came. Now, for example, here's another one. I say okay, just K here, and this is the response from Benedict and Giuseppe. Thanks so much. Now, this is the getting down to the translation. That's it. The beginning says, listen, this is an important message from the pontifical household. Again, you can see how the icon has been removed. Now, what is interesting, you'll see over here on the left, as I get down to when this is the production of the video. I'm just going to do something here as I copy this link location as I'm refreshing everything, putting it up on the page. Now I'll have to open up the messages again, go through all of this, see all. Type in Pope. Here it is. Now, see the icon now? This is the blue here. Pope Francis inbox. This is the one that we're reading now. The takeover of Pope Benedict's communications with the Christ, just as they said that they would do. This is the warning here. Holy Father Dexter Sheen is our Apostle Jonas. He is arriving to be with you. This is what they panicked about. And then on the 2nd of April, I'm here now, Father Giuseppe. Did not hear from him for a couple of days. Now, you can see, here we go. This was Father Giuseppe's own personal Facebook that I began communicating with him. Again, that is all up at the website. This is the one that's taken over. This is it. You saw that I clicked on it. That's here. Giuseppe Civello. That theologian is Benedict. So this is talking with the thugs that took over Benedict and Giuseppe's Facebooks. I say we are in Revelation 11:17. You cannot escape death. And then these are the thugs. He isn't the Antichrist, meaning this dude here, Francis. He said he doesn't give a shit. It's probably us that are the Antichrists. And then I respond here. The last thing I say, how did you get sucked in by all of this? Going back to his is Marshall. He means to say this is Marshall. This is all from Giuseppe's personal Facebook after he was removed. And you better stop tweeting the Pope Francis. Okay, so he is the dude that is monitoring all of Francis' sites to keep us out of there, naturally. I am Detective John Eleonora. I work for Pope Francis. Giuseppe will have no further communication with you. Bye. You can see here, this is where it all starts. So, there was also, if I type in Civello, it comes up, spelled it wrong, that's why. Now, this was the day that we got the report that Giuseppe was shot dead. Facebook user INB inbox. Okay, again, the icon's been removed. This was the conversation going on behind the scenes. Now, this was supposed to be the friend that was being held under house arrest with Giuseppe, and it was supposed to be him communicating with us from another location. However, Mike and Manon traced the conversation being from the same location, the same address as the entire conversation began, which was 3 days earlier. So that threw into total discredit that it was indeed a friend of Giuseppe who was with him. Confusing. Although in this conversation, if it was Giuseppe talking, says that he was there with a friend. It was all very confusing. And as you saw the reaction, see, this is all supposed to be the conversation with who we believed to be Giuseppe after he recontacted us again on the 10th of April, 7 days after being kidnapped. Now, they either set it up that way, or it was the police all along. It was the police all along, you know, a charade to set us up. I don't know. When we got the report that Giuseppe was dead, you can see my reaction on the video that we uploaded, the initial reaction, and then started to say, wait on, this doesn't make sense. What we have is the report that he is dead. He is certainly nowhere to be found. And Sister Maria, the letter we did get from her, there's been a whole lot of hoo-ha from the one calling himself Caliber Hitters, that I did ask at one point, can he do anything about the trolls? And he did. Now it looks like he's God, so good for him. Yeah, I never wanted the job. He actually said, we'll announce it. So this is the announcement. Caliber Hitter is God. Take it away, Caliber. You are, well, what can I say? Did a good job doing what you did, however. Providing a bit of a laugh after that. Yes, so the letter from Maria, now it was very interesting. I haven't uploaded it to the script site. I've held it back for a reason. When we got the letter, which was the 25th or 26th of October, and it came in through somebody claiming to be Lisa Damusi. Well, Damusi backward is you mad. So, and that's what Caliber Hitter found out to be a site that led back to, oh, let's see, here we go, I can find her. C.F. Meyer, a woman, Carolyn F. Meyer, living in Toronto. Actually sent her a message. As usual, things freeze when you don't want them to. Especially our computers, no idea the because I ended up sending this Carolyn F. Meyer that Caliber Hitter did find out was the owner of the address, the physical address. Alright, okay, so she's gone. Physical address of where that letter from Maria was forwarded from. Now, he said we are heavily trolled. Well, as you know, we are. We don't get anything of importance, and nothing that we send out of importance gets to people that it might make a difference to. The letter that was written, however, the information was factual, and it sounded like Sister Maria della Rosa. We have the original she sent to us when she first communicated with us while she was still with Benedict before being kidnapped, and certainly she described the events of that night that do align with what Giuseppe was able to tell us, etc. And my thought about it was that she was able to get a letter out, however it was taken over by the trolls who wanted us to communicate, the ones trolling us, the Jews trolling us, and Meyer is a Jew name, that they wanted us to communicate with them, and then when we didn't upload and read it out, because the whole point of it was to do an upload of it. Well, we didn't. We wrote a letter back for Maria that she said she would give to her, but we did not respond to the letter until months later. Because if there's somebody out there waiting for it to be uploaded to nab it, then not going to give them the pleasure. I read it for the first time in the video called Good Morning Francis, when he wanted all things transparent. Perhaps that's what they were fishing for. I don't know. Knowing that that letter was out there, perhaps that's what they were fishing for. Bizarre. So there you have it. The Francis connection. He is the Antichrist. He has denied. This is tying it all together. The events of last year. This is all the Jews. As you know now, Rome is controlled by the Jews, and that's what Benedict became aware of through our teaching him. He was so naive, if you like. He's being blamed for all kinds of things, and the Antichrist, what's his name, Kevin Annett, he's crapping on with his disinformation and saying that he has evidence of Benedict being involved in child sacrifice, etc., and eyewitnesses. Well, yeah, right. There's one man on the earth who would not be involved. Makes me really think what Annette himself has been involved in that hasn't been exposed yet. What is true is that Annette was in Port Alberni living there for the same years. He arrived just after and left at the same time that the Christ left Port Alberni. Coincidental? I think not. Now, the whole town of the natives knew that Jesus was living in their town. He was building what was called the Ark there on Sprout Lake. The police were camped next door watching his every move. It was while he was there that they tried to shoot him as he's in the car listening to the 12th of Never after having given him the coordinates. In the middle of the lake, 666 feet deep, come and get me. That was the challenge to the Israeli embassy in Ottawa at the time. Mossad, come and get me, give it your best shot, as he does. And of course you know that they haven't been able to. He did eat the cyanide that he was given by the Jews. So the Jews are the ones that are convinced more than anybody else that he is who he is. That's exactly what Doc Hansen, the Jew who gave him the cyanide, said. You really are the Christ, because he didn't die having eaten it. So the days ahead, very interesting, just being really laid back, not a lot of activity. Watching the show as all things unfold. Just thought you'd like to see the connection here. Francis and Giuseppe and Benedict. Sister Maria and Giuseppe. And also, let's not forget Giuseppe's friend in Toronto. And it was just coincidental that Monsignor Rossini was in Toronto when the troll who's on our case that Calabahita flushed out. What's the name? I've got this. He sent the exact address, 753. Let's see if I can find it. Felix. Here we go. This is where he found. Oh, so I responded to this one who called herself Lisa. Who does that remind you of? You can call me Mrs. Marshall. I asked you in my previous email if you could post me the handwritten letter given to you by Maria. Now, of course, they couldn't do that. So, this is... when I refer to this Lisa, I'm referring to the Lisa de Musi who forwarded the letter from Maria. Yup, it's a Jew troll, 100% certified fact. I sent back an email saying that the reaping would begin at the yeah, see, here's the push. Here's the push here. Maria is supposed to have... She has pushed me several times to get you, Mrs. Marshall, and your husband to announce Maria's security via the internet. I go to your YouTube channel several times, but nothing has been posted yet since October the 25th. Anyway, this is... This is how Felix did it. Anyway, he found it. My phone's ringing. I'll continue this later when I find the address.